Hello, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining this call. I'm Devesh Lati from the Next Genius Foundation, and also joining me on this call is Kajol Shah from the Next Genius team. And before going forward, let me first congratulate everyone, all of you, for reaching this far. We got almost 5,000 applications this year, which means the application numbers were higher in the last couple of years. We're proud of it. And out of those applications, roughly 500 students are now in the next steps where you will be interviewed in the process, interviewed by Next Genius, interviewed by the admission officers. And there are these 500 students, 500 of you will compete for scholarships at 20 different Next Genius partner colleges. So the journey from 5,000 to 500 is something that you have covered. Now is the journey from 500 to roughly 100 scholarships, and you have come a long way now. So congratulations to you. Uh, all the best for the next steps. And we are here. Team Next Genius is here to support you in the journey. If you just went through the CBSE exams, I hope you did well. It was the first of a kind paper. It was an objective kind of paper, and I'm sure it was a good experience for you. Now that the exams are over, you can focus on the next steps. Also, before moving forward, let me thank Team Next Genius. Kajol is there. Kajol Shah, who's a part of the outreach team. She's always reaching out to you and helping you with your queries, supporting you in your application. We have Anant Narayanan, we have Radha Venkatraman, and the program manager, Devika Agarwal. So thank you all the team members for supporting the students in their application journey. So what's the agenda for today's call? There are two parts to this call. The next half an hour, you'll listen to me as I ask you various questions and share with you about the next steps. And following that, from 6:30 to 7 o'clock, 7:15, you will listen to two experts who will help you with the interview process. They will give you tips on how to ace the admission interviews, how to ace the Next Genius group interview. So those are the two things that will happen in today's call. Before moving forward, let me ask you a few questions. So you can use the chat box to respond to those questions and sort of tell us about you. So my first question, not a question, but I would first request all of you to introduce yourself in the chat box, your name. Actually, it already appears in your sort of a description. So your high school, which college you have been allocated, and which city are you from? What is your planned major? So if you could put that in the chat box, high school, which college you have been allocated, the city you're coming from, and what's your planned major. So we are waiting for that. You can put those in your questions. Yes, thank you, Yugmi from Dubai. Alicia from Avsara Academy, Pune. Radhika from GBN Global School in Bhopal. It's great to see all of you. Thank you for posting about yourself. We're excited to be connected with you. Superb. All right. I'll wait for 30 seconds more. Okay, wonderful. That's fantastic. I'm seeing people from a lot of cities across the country. So that's really terrific. Thank you all for answering that. My second question to you is very important for me, for us, but I think it's important for you as well. And that is, why are you applying to Next Genius? So take time but I want a very specific reason. Why are you applying to the Next Genius Scholarship Program? Why is the Next Genius Scholarship Program important to you? Why are you applying for scholarships through the Next Genius Scholarship Program? So answer it. Uh, take time. I'll give you 1 minute, 1 minute, 90 seconds or so. So take your time, but put it in the chat on why are you applying to us? And I can see some really wonderful answers coming in. I applied to the Next Genius Scholarship Program because it's a great community of scholars who can make a positive impact on the society. It helps me create a balance between my academics and application process. As someone coming from a context where no one ever thinks about going abroad, Next Genius seemed to be a perfect platform for me to make use of and board that flight to the US. I want to be a part of the community who is willing to lift the people around them. Fantastic, superb responses. Thank you all for answering that question for me. I'm applying to the Next Genius because I want to be a part of the program that supports me beyond just education. Next Genius is helping me achieve my dreams of reaching beyond what I'm accustomed to, and I want to be a part of a group that is helping so many. Some of my seniors also went through the program, and what I love the most about their experience and my own experience so far is that in addition to the scholarship, we get access to the knowledge from experts through webinars like this, which will be useful regardless of the scholarship end up getting, the college we end up getting. Superb. I think that's fantastic. I won't read all the comments, but really thank you so much for all those superb, terrific responses. And it really makes our day to know that the program is being appreciated, because there's a lot that goes behind the scenes. And I can totally see that you have paid attention to what all work goes behind the scene. All right. So yes, and that's what Next Genius is all about, right? When you apply to the Next Genius Scholarship Program, you become a part of the community. We have almost 200 scholars in the US right now. The exact number is roughly 180, but we are approaching 200. As your batch wins the scholarship and goes to the US, we'll cross that number. We'll have more than 200 scholars in the US who are studying on a Next Genius scholarship. These scholars have a community. They are part of a community who supports each other, who mentors each other. And when I say mentor, basically you will have seniors at your college or from other colleges who will help you make the best of your college education. You will learn from them. You will ask them questions. They will give you their advice. That's one part. Mentorship is very important in the process. The second benefit or another important aspect of being in the program, of course, scholarships is there, but with that you also get lots of leadership opportunities. We always see Next Genius scholars come back to us and intern with us. It's not a mandatory thing, but they like to come back to the community. They like to give back to the foundation in some way, right? So there are various internships and leadership opportunities at the foundation or through the foundation that you can get access for. And finally, the scholarship program is like a family where you get to meet people from different parts of the country and really make lifelong friendships. The scholars who have gone through the program are now either pursuing their post-graduation at some of the best universities in the world. And to name a couple of them, Anushka Agarwal, who was the first Next Genius scholar, is now pursuing her post-graduation at Rice University. And Tanvi Pandey, who won the scholarship in 2016, Juniata College, is now at Columbia. So that's a couple of people who are doing their post-graduation. And then there are students who are working in their dream jobs in the US. So this program is not just a way for winning the scholarship. If you're just coming for the scholarship, think more, because this is much more than just that scholarship. Scholarship is important, don't get me wrong. It is very, very important. But with the scholarship and scholarships, there are various other ways to win that scholarship. But that's not all at Next Genius. We have this community and we have this program which happens even after you have won the scholarship. We continue to stay in touch with you, and you would know that because you are already interacting with so many Next Senior scholars. You are listening to them on webinars, you are meeting them via one-on-one interviews, you are watching their videos. There is a lot of videos that we create with them where these scholars come back and share their experience with them. So this means that they are coming back to the foundation and supporting scholars, supporting applicants like you. And when they are not supporting you, we are trying to find more resources for you. We are trying to bring in expert leaders, business leaders who would do webinars like this for specifically for the scholars as a way to develop leadership skills. Yeah. So Next Genius is more than just scholarships. It's a much larger program, and your relationship with Next Genius does not end, but it begins when you win that Next Genius scholarship. Um, all right, let me move on to the next steps. So what happens in this call? There are two things that I'll talk with you about. First is I'll talk with you about the application process. If you have already completed the application, that's fantastic. There might be few things that you have not yet worked upon, so it's time to work on it. And the second thing is the interview process. What will happen in the main Next Genius group interviews, yeah, that happen in January. So let's get going with that. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And before going ahead, let me just show you one brief part of our website where we list down all the team members. So you'll see Dr. Neeraj Mandana and his father, Sri Naveen Mandana, are the founders of the scholarship program. And they take care of the program in various capacities. Then that's me, Devesh Lathi, Radha, the outreach team member, Devika, the program manager, Anant, who's the outreach expert, Kajol, our communications expert, Helen, also our communication expert, and Shivi. So that's the team Next Genius, and I just wanted to acknowledge them because they have been working terrifically over the last few months. Let me move on. Let me talk with you about the application, the college application. So I'm sure you have been informed multiple times that the deadline is January 1, and that is a very, very important date to remember. The deadline is the date when you not just submit your Common App, but you submit all the other pieces of your application as well. When I say all the other pieces of your application, you submit, you create your Common App, you fill up your Common App. Apart from that, you work on your Common App essay, which is the main essay that you need to write on Common App. You need to fill the college specific supplement. Now, writing the main Common App essay, a lot of times students are confused, or they are probably not very well informed that there is a step after writing the Common App essay also. There is a step after writing your Common App essay, and that is filling your college specific supplement. So you need to go on Common App. You need to search the college that you're applying to. You need to add that college to your list. And when it shows up in your list, you need to fill up the college specific supplement. If you are, let's say, applying to Juniata College, so you need to add Juniata College to your list, fill up the Juniata College supplement, write the college specific essay if they have one, and finally, then you submit your Common App. So filling up the main part of Common App is not the thing that is considered as submitting the Common App. You need to fill the college specific supplement and then submit the Common App. Following that, you need to invite your recommenders. You need to invite your counselor. You need to invite your teachers. A lot of times, universities want one counselor recommendation and one teacher recommendation. So you need to invite your teachers as well through the Common App. So in Common App, you will have an option of adding counselors and adding teachers. So you can add all their email IDs, and as soon as you add them, they get an email from Common App that so and so person has invited you and then they need to go in that email and sort of, if they don't already have a Common App account, then they need to create a Common App account to submit your transcripts, your letter of recommendations. If they already have a Common App, then they can go ahead and they'll already see you in the list of students, and they will be able to write a LOR, letter of recommendation, and your counselor will be able to submit your transcripts or mark sheet in 9, 10, 11, and 12. If you have taken SAT or ACT, you need to submit those scores. If you have not taken it, it's all right. But if you have taken it, you need to submit those scores. If you have not taken any English proficiency scores, I encourage you to take the Duolingo English test. Or there are waivers also available. A lot of colleges also waive off this requirement. We have a 10% off promo code to take the DET. So if you would like that, you can just get that from our team, and we'll be happy to provide that 10% off on the Duolingo English test waiver code. It's accepted at all the Next Genius partner colleges. So those are some components. Let's move on to financial paperwork. So apart from submitting these pieces of your application, you also need to submit your financial paperwork. A lot of colleges accept the CSS profile. If they do not, then there are other financial documents that they expect you to submit. So just check out the international application requirements page of your college, or just get in touch with us, and we'll help you identify or find out the right financial document that you need to submit to the college. And if you are applying for art programs or theater drama programs or design programs, you need to submit a portfolio. If you have a resume, you can also go ahead and submit that. A lot of times, some colleges have additional forms that you need to submit. So that will be available. The college will most likely write to you if there are any additional form apart from these forms that is to be submitted. And finally, almost all colleges have a college portal where you can find the status of your application, what all pieces have already been submitted, what all pieces are missing. And this college portal page is something you can use to find out the status of your application. So those are the pieces of your application that you need to submit before Jan 1. Please do this before the deadline. I'm very, very serious about it. If you do not do that, the colleges might not consider you. Yeah. So make sure you submit everything by Jan 1. Unless we have explicitly told you that it's okay, submit it after a few days. You make sure that everything is gone, that everything reaches the college by January 1, 2022. Yeah. All right, let me move on to the next part. And the interesting part, what happens in the group interviews in January. So the group interview, in the front of your screen, you can now see the whole group interview process. It happens across 3 days, January 1, January 21st, January 22nd, and January 26th. So block these dates on your calendar, block these times on your calendar. We'll send you more information soon, but make sure you are available for all of these sessions without exception. If you're not there for one of these sessions, that would mean that you have not attended the event, and that would mean that probably you will not be considered for the scholarship. Yeah. January 21st, 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. IST. All these times are mentioned in Indian Standard Time, IST. The first session is the icebreaker, in which you will be there with the other candidates. It's just like the info session that we ran for you, right? Where you'll be in the group with the colleges, you listen to them, and you'll also sort of discuss something with you within yourself, or introduce yourself. So it's just an icebreaker, sort of made to lighten the mood and sort of made to get everyone on the same track and on the same frequency. That's January 21st. January 22nd is the info session for your parents and guardians. So this is a session from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. is a session where your parents and your guardians, or whoever is you're taking care of your application, or whoever is going to fund your education, that person needs to be there in this info session, so that they can learn more about the college that you are considering and the college that you are applying to scholarship for. And finally, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. I know it's pretty late for a lot of you, but I'm sure you can stay awake until 11 p.m. And 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., which is mornings in the US, and the admission officers are based in the US, and that's why this time is the main group interview process, in which you'll all be a part of groups, Zoom meetings, and you'll all participate in this group interview. It's not going to be anything intimidating. It's going to be a fun event where you will interact with each other, where you will ask each other questions, where you will participate in various activities. It's going to be a fun process, and more details about this will be shared in the coming weeks. But right now, just make a note of the dates and times, and in the next few minutes, when the other two speakers join us, you will listen to them about as they share tips on doing well in the interviews. And finally, January 26th, the Republic Day, is when the award ceremony will take place. So that's when the scholarships will be announced, and you'll all get to know whether you've won the next senior scholarship or not. And I think if you've reached so far, you've done a great job. So just pat yourself on the back, and congratulations once again. Now, just a few more steps are left. Give your best, stay motivated, stay inspired. There is a lot of fantastic things waiting for you, yeah, at the other side of this whole process. So continue working hard. We are here to support you. We are here to help you in any way possible. So just continue and work hard. With that, I'm coming to the end of the first part of my presentation. I hope all of you enjoyed listening to this and also learned a lot from this. I'll just take a few questions before we move on to the second part of this call. Okay, so I'm seeing some questions, and I'll try and answer as many as possible. A student is asking, how easy is it to work while getting my degree? If you are planning to work, there are a lot of limitations. You can only work 10 hours per week on campus in the US on a F1 visa. So when you go to the US, and I'll tell you another thing, all next senior scholars work on campus. So as you go to the US, you'll also work there, and sort of that will help you bring in a small portion of your tuition fees or your living expenses. You can target probably getting $1,500, $3,000 per year. It's not going to be a massive $5,000, $10,000 per year. So keep that in mind. Roughly $1,500, $3,000, or maximum $5,000 is what you can earn while you work on campus per year. Next Genius takes care of only the living expenses, only the tuition fees, not the living expenses. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll stop this part recording now, and we'll move on to the second portion of this webinar. Once again, thank you all for joining, and just stay back as we have the speakers from ExtraView, who are experts of interviews, come in and share about interviews with you. And meanwhile, as they join, I'll continue to answer some of your questions.